Good day everyone! I'm Shane Perol together with my co-researchers Zaira Noha, Marjorie Hugilion, and Joyce C. Today, we will be discussing the research we have done regarding the effectiveness of marketing strategy the McDonald's company using the BTS promotion. Introduction. We are all aware that COVID-19 is still present up until today and causes negative impact to every businesses all over the world. And because of that, the World Health Organization implements a strategic preparedness response plan that includes health measures for the countries to respond during the pandemic. The implementation of these measures cause travel restrictions, closure of workplaces, educational institutions, and limit social gathering, which affects McDonald's to decrease its sales. But for McDonald's to make up to its loss, they decided to come up with a marketing strategy using the celebrity endorsement with the well-known boy band in South Korea called the BTS. Background of the study. The researchers want to discover the effectiveness of the BTS endorsement utilized by the McDonald's company amidst the COVID-19 pandemic to have a better understanding in finding resilient solutions to survive in the middle of the crisis. The purpose of this study is to know the acceptability of McDonald's products as perceived by its customers. There are lots of marketing strategies that you can search through the internet, but there are only few that were documented and can serve as a reliable sources that proves its effectiveness in the market. So the researchers want to prove if this kind of marketing strategy will really help company and businesses to reach their target market by providing customers' demand while increasing their sales. Statement of the problem. The aim of this study is to assess the effectiveness of the marketing strategy of McDonald's company using the BTS endorsement. Specifically, this sought to answer the following questions. What is the demographic profile of the respondents in terms of name, which is optional, sex, age, and what type of respondents are they? How do the respondents assess the effectiveness of the McDonald's marketing strategy using the BTS endorsement called the BTS meal in terms of availability, affordability, taste, packaging, and endorsers' influence? Is there a significant difference on the assessment of the two groups of respondents on the effectiveness of the McDonald's marketing strategy using the BTS endorsement? And based on the findings of the study, what additional marketing strategy may be proposed by the researchers?
And this is our significance of the study, McDonald's Company. This study will serve as a credible source of information in investigating the effectiveness of marketing strategy that they utilize. McDonald's customer. This study will help the customer to have the opportunity to be closer to their beloved artists. Since the study have proven that using the business and celebrity partnership as a marketing strategy is effective and beneficial nowadays. Business owner. This study will benefit a business owner to have idea in creating an effective marketing strategy for them to reach their target market. Take advantage on what trends and identify the potential trends and opportunity in marketing. Marketing department or team. This study will help the marketing teams in selecting emerging trends and minimizing risk in investing to untimely marketing strategy. Researchers. This study will help researchers expand their knowledge and get latest information regarding effective and strategic marketing plan that business can use. Scope and limitation. The researcher decided to conduct the study with 100 respondents based on the criteria they fit into. The 50 respondents should be a regular customer of McDonald's, while the other 50 respondents should be a non-regular customer or the one who brought the product because of the influence of BTS group.
For research methodology. For research design, the study used a quantitative descriptive research method. The researcher believes that it is an appropriate research design to assess the behavior of a chosen population, because it's a process of collecting and analyzing numerical data that generalize results. It also contributes success to the study because through this research design, the study will serve as reliable source of data information because it cannot be forged and nothing will be manipulated. For respondents of the study was conducted with 100 respondents that categorized into two groups: the 50 regular customers and 50 non-regular customers who just purchased because of the BTS endorsement. The researchers decided to come up with this total of respondents because it's the most convenient yet appropriate population in getting reliable data that answers the research problems. And for sampling technique, the researcher used stratified random sampling technique to gather data. In stratified sampling, researchers divide respondents into two groups as regular and non-regular customers of McDonald's based on characteristics that they share, which they must be located in Metro Manila and they must buy and taste the BTS meal. For research instrument, the researchers created research-developed questionnaire to gather that information from two types of respondents, regular and non-regular customers. And for data gathering procedure, the questionnaires that the researcher made will be revised and validated for the final draft. The researchers find 100 respondents through Facebook Messenger by identifying if they belong to regular customers and non-regular customers and ask permission to answer the survey questionnaire through Google Forms. For statistical treatment of data, the researchers utilized 5 statistical treatment of data such as frequency and percentage distribution, weighted mean, ranking, Likert scale, and t-test. The researcher used frequency and percentage distribution to know the percentage if it's equals to 100%, ranking to know the position of each question in a particular variables, the Likert scale to determine and give verbal interpretation to numerical data, and the t-test that will use to determine the result of hypothesis if it is accepted or rejected. Discussion of findings. For the demographics profile of regular customers, the table 1.1 shows the distribution of regular customers according to sex and age. In terms of sex, the researcher most respondents are the 35 female of regular customers with a percentage of 70%, followed by a 15 male of regular customer with a percentage of 30%. In terms of age, there are 26 regular customers with an age of 21 to 30 years old and followed by the 18 respondents that below 21 years old with a percentage of 36%. Since most customers of BTS Meal and McDonald's are millennials and Generation Z, there are 3 respondents from 31 to 40 years old and 41 to 50 years old with a percentage of 6% since they are the Generation X, and there is no respondent above 50 years old since they are the baby boomers that don't mind about what is trending. And for the demographics profile of non-regular customers, the table 2.1 shows the distribution of the non-regular customers according to sex and age. In terms of sex, there are 40 female of non-regular customer with a percentage of 92%, followed by 4 male of non-regular customer with a percentage of 8%. In terms of age, there are 26 non-regular customers with an age of 21 to 30 years old, that is 52, followed by 18 respondents that is below of 21 years old with a 36%. There are same numbers of respondents, which is 3 from 31 to 40 years old and 41 to 50 years old with a percentage of 6%. And there is no respondents from non-regular customers above 50 years old. For availability, Table 3 shows the assessment of the respondents in terms of availability. The highest indicator with a 3.67 weighted mean and interpretation of strongly agree is the BTS meal is available in other food delivery app, Grab, Food Panda, etc. This was followed by all the products in the BTS meal set are always served complete as what it's supposed to be, with a 3.63 weighted mean and interpretation of strongly agree. The BTS meal is available in the nearest McDonald's store in my city with a 3.62 weighted mean and interpretation of strongly agree. The BTS meal is easy to avail. It takes minutes to order and get the product from the cashier with a 3.29 weighted mean and interpretation of strongly agree. And lastly, the BTS meal is always available at any time of the day during its lunch period, gain the lowest 3.2 weighted mean and interpretation of agree. Affordability. The table 4 shows the assessment of the respondent in terms of affordability. The respondents agree that the highest indicator with a 3.15 weighted mean is the BTS meal that includes 10 pieces of McNuggets, 2 dipping sauce, medium price, and drinks are very affordable for its price 260 pesos. This was followed by indicator I buy BTS meal because I find its price reasonable for the satisfaction it gives me, with a 2.99 weighted mean and interpretation of partly agree. I will buy the BTS meal even if its price is higher than 260 pesos with a 2.28 weighted mean and interpretation of partly agree. Spending money for the BTS meal in amidst of COVID-19 pandemic is just a waste of money with a 2.03 weighted mean and interpretation of partly agree. And lastly, all Filipino can afford to buy the BTS meal with the lowest 1.96 weighted mean and interpretation of partly agree. And for table 5, taste. The table number 5 shows the assessment of the respondents in terms of taste. The respondents strongly agree that the highest indicator with the 3.51 weighted mean is the overall taste of the products in the BTS meals gives me satisfaction. This was followed by McNuggets is good with Cajun sauce with a 3.45 weighted mean and interpretation of strongly agree. McNuggets is good with sweet chili sauce with 3.43 weighted mean and interpretation of strongly agree. I buy the BTS meal because the taste and quality of McDonald's products are trusted with a 3.55 weighted mean and interpretation of strongly agree. And lastly, the combination of McDonald's product in the BTS meal inclusion are well chosen with the lowest 3.33 weighted mean and interpretation of strongly agree. Table 6 packaging. The table 6 shows the assessment of the respondents in terms of packaging. The respondents strongly agree that the highest indicator with a 3.49 weighted mean is I received the right packaging upon buying the BTS meal. This was followed by seeing the BTS packaging gives me happiness and satisfaction with a 3.33 weighted mean and interpretation of strongly agree. Both the color, design, and logo of the packaging are well planned and chosen by the McDonald's company, and the attractiveness of the packaging affects my buying decision have a 3.31 weighted mean and interpretation of strongly agree. And lastly, I am convinced to buy the BTS meal because the logo of the BTS group is in the packaging with the lowest 3.2 weighted mean and interpretation of agree. And for the endorsers' influence, Table 7 shows the assessment of customers on the effectiveness of McDonald's marketing strategy using BTS endorsement in terms of its endorser influence. It has a grand mean of 3.22 interpreted as agree. The highest indicator is BTS group helps the McDonald's to increase its sales with a 3.52 weighted mean and interpretation of strongly agree. This was followed by celebrity endorsement is the most effective marketing strategy in this generation with a 3.48 weighted mean and interpretation of strongly agree. Celebrity endorsement helped the brand to produce a loyal customer with a 3.29 weighted mean and interpretation of strongly agree. I buy the BTS meal because it was endorsed by the BTS group with a 3.24 weighted mean and interpretation of agree. And lastly, personal issue of the celebrity endorsers affect my trust and buying decision under endorsed product with the lowest 2.59 weighted mean and interpretation of agree. For t-test, the illustration of the t-test result, the degrees of freedom is 24 while the computed t-value is negative 0.75 did not exceed the critical value that were being set by the data. T-critical 1 till 1.71 and T-critical 2 till 2.06. Therefore, the null hypothesis is failed to reject. In the other hand, the p-value for 1 till 0.23 and p-value for 2 till 0.46 is greater than the level of significance 0.05, which also proves that the null hypothesis were failed to reject. As the result, the decision on the null hypothesis is accepted because the data revealed that there was no significant difference on the assessment of the two groups of respondents on the effectiveness of the McDonald's marketing strategy using the BTS endorsement.
McDonald's marketing strategy determines and help the organization competitiveness to increase the business revenue. Measuring the effectiveness of marketing strategy often assesses aspects of customer satisfaction. Using these dimensions, the quality of marketing strategy is reflected on how the company satisfied or exceeded customers' expectations. The conclusions are the following. Number 1. Respondents were partly satisfied with McDonald's marketing strategy in terms of its availability. Although, the finding shows that it lacks assurance and guarantee that a BTS meal is always available at any time of the day during its launching period. Number 2. Respondents were partly satisfied with McDonald's marketing strategy in terms of its affordability. But the findings showed that it failed to consider that not all Filipinos can buy the BTS meal amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. Number 3. Respondents were very satisfied with McDonald's marketing strategy in terms of its taste. The findings concluded that the overall taste of the products in the BTS meal are excellent. The combination of the product in the BTS meal are complementing each other. And the McNuggets is perfectly paired with cajun and sweet chili sauce. Number 4. Respondents were satisfied with McDonald's marketing strategy in terms of its packaging, especially the non-regular customers who were excited and curious about the BTS packaging and design. Number 5. Respondents are satisfied with McDonald's marketing strategy in terms of its endorsers' influence. The findings concluded that BTS collaboration helped McDonald's increase the sales in 2021. Moreover, results concluded that celebrity endorsement is the most effective marketing strategy nowadays. And the last, number 6. The TTS result concludes that there was no significant difference on the assessment of the two groups of respondents on the effectiveness of the McDonald's marketing strategy using the BTS endorsement code BTS meal. Based on the significant findings and conclusions of this study, the researchers suggested the following. Number 1. McDonald's company must ensure that products are always available, especially during and after its launching period. Also, it must guarantee that the inclusions are complete and services are efficient. They must also consider an extension of the BTS meal or product collaboration with celebrities, so customers who were not able to avail before will still have a chance to buy and support both the brand and the celebrity through purchasing the product. Satisfied customers become devoted buyers when a business is trustworthy and provides good customer service. Number 2. Pricing of products must also be taken into consideration. Consumers are not only willing to pay more when pricing is clear and transparent, but likely to increase their purchase. Also, the researchers highly recommend price adjustments, since not all Filipinos consumers can afford to buy the BTS meal. Lowering the price could expand the target market. Number 3. Customers must be given an option to choose their prepared drink available in the store to go along with their meal, since not all like to drink the beverage that is included on the meal set. Number 4. To further attract fans and customers that would increase sales, adding features and size of the endorsers would make the products valuable and collectible. Number 5. The company must be careful in choosing the endorsers that will promote their product. So they must have good public image, positive impact to people, large fandom, and an inspirational background story. In addition, endorsers should be careful of their image and reputation since they carry the brand with them. And lastly, number 6. McDonald's company must implement a timely marketing strategy that will run for at least 2 to 3 months. These strategies must continuously excite customers to trigger their curiosity and attract them to purchase products. New collaborations, new products, new programs, and even new advocacies could all increase the company's sales and positive reviews from the customers. And that would be the end of our research paper online presentation.
Thank you for watching!